everyone. I'm Aditi Bhatt, and I'm absolutely delighted to host this conversation on careers in AI and machine learning right here at Google Cloud India. Hari, Priyank, Vatsheel, thank you so much for taking time and joining us today. So before we kick things off, let's hear a little about our speakers from them. And team, could you please share your name, your role, and a quick fun fact about yourself?
Okay, so hi, I'm Hari. So I lead the Gemini Cloud Assist team, and I've been with Google for last 3.5 years. So we are here to build the best-in-class Gemini assisted experience. A bit of fun fact about me: I'm an avid traveler. So I went to Italy and then went to a volcano called Mount Vesuvius. So my family was really worried that whether that dormant volcano will become active, but nothing happened, and I came back. So I love traveling in general. So that's a bit about me.
Priyank?
Okay, I'm Priyank. I have been at Google for about 4 years now. I'm part of healthcare. I'm leading the healthcare and life sciences team as part of Applied AI and GCP. At healthcare, we are building products to simplify healthcare for some of the largest healthcare organizations across the world. On the fun side, I'm passionate about photography, music, and ice creams. I once drove for 30 miles just to have an ice cream. I share that passion with my daughter. She's my partner in crime there.
You should definitely bring her to the office. She'll love the ice cream here.
Yeah, for sure.
Vatsheel?
Yeah, hi, I'm Vatsheel and I'm part of Data Cloud Org. Specifically, I work on Cloud BI, which is a short for business intelligence. And the area which our team works on is making data accessible and understandable to a large cohort of the company so that they can use it in their day-to-day operations and also be able to use it as an informational tool which could aid their strategic business decisions.
Awesome. It's always interesting to hear about fellow Googlers. So now let's officially kick things off. Priyank, coming to you, you have a diverse background, be it startups, be it large-scale platforms. So in Applied AI, the team that you are a part of, they deal with solving these messy real-world problems. So my question to you is that at a Google Cloud scale, right, how do you approach these applied problems?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I was lucky enough to be part of various industries as part of my 18 years of career. I was also part of EdTech, where we solved some of the data-intensive problems. And I always thought that EdTech offers most complex of the challenges when it comes to data. And then I came to Google Cloud. And as part of healthcare, what I came to know was everybody was speaking in petabytes only. And that's the only language that they understand. And so I also got to learn that 30% of world's data is generated by healthcare, and this is like your electronic health records, medical imaging, genetic sequencing, and also the health data from the wearables, and it's a lot of data. And this has been compounding year on year by 36%, which is massive. And on top of it, there are like security and privacy challenges that kind of come into play because it's healthcare data. It's very sensitive. So this is where the expertise from Google comes in, where we make sure that we are operating at that scale because we are solving some of the unsolved problems in the world. And where we operate some of the standard solutions, most of the standard solutions, they have not been built for that scale. So this is where we do the right thing for the users, ensuring the high standards of security and privacy along with delivering on top of massive data.
Yeah, 30% of the world's data and an acceleration of 36%. That is an incredible statistic. Thank you for sharing that with us, Priya.
Absolutely.
Hari, I noted that you are deeply passionate about computing and your career has moved between industry and academia. It's often a very difficult, decision to pursue research. So I would like to understand, right? Like, what was your core inspiration behind pursuing a doctorate and how did that shape your way into becoming an engineering manager at Google Cloud?
Yeah, I think one of the things which I kind of went into research is to develop my deeper understanding, and then solve ambiguous problems. I always see product development and as well as research go hand in hand. So what it means is you evolve right from research to implementing them. So similarly from concept to reality. So in that regard, I work very closely with product managers. They are the people who I partner with on the ideas, work with them on experimenting and launching products. So that gives me the joy of applying research at scale and solve some of these ambiguous problems.
Yeah, that's a bridge between, product delivery and how it links to research. Thanks for sharing that with us. Vachi, you're on the staff engineering part and you work closely with business intelligence and analytics. So, practically speaking, right, what does it look like to bring something as modern as AI into an established field of business intelligence, and how does that change the way that our customers interact with their data?
So, before answering that question, I would like to share what I have felt in my journey to over the last decade or so, like how the data landscape has evolved. So, there are 3 stages through which a company goes through. And the first one is building the data infrastructure, a data platform, so that you can get all your data sources in one place, and then you can build some pipelines on it. So think of data warehousing, ETL things, and all the data pipelines. The next stage, which comes after that, is building the semantic modeling and also then generating dashboards or reports on top of them. The third one is the consumption layer, which is where you realize the value from your data, because you've done a lot of work, got your data inside. Now this is the value realization time. And what I have found and in the industry is that this value realization is a part where we are still struggling. So think of a scenario where, let's say, a CEO is looking at a weekly business review reports, and they have a question about, okay, why is sales down in New York? Now then, if the dashboard is not able to answer that question, the option is that you go talk to the analyst to get another dashboard, or you ask the analyst to do some ad hoc analysis and get it done. Instead of that, GenAI is supercharging that consumption layer by, like, you can ask your questions there, get the insight, and it would inform you as well to make a decision and also the action based on other workflows. So that is something where I'm feeling that the modern GenAI tooling is helping a lot in supercharging the consumption layer.
You very beautifully walked us through how, business intelligence used to look like before and how AI is supercharging the consumption layer and enabling our customers to, make the best use of the analytics that it offers.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about engineering life. Hari, for someone joining your team today, what is the core technical component that they would interact with?
That's a good question. So when somebody joins Google, the fundamental thing is they go through all the basics, how Google operates at scale, right from writing code, putting them into production, operationalizing it, and learning things around software reliability and operational excellence. That's very important for us to get that. Then post that, they get to work on the full stack, which we have like applied AI stack. So in that process, there are 2 things. First thing is they will be using internal tools for their own productivity, be it a code assistant or code review, and many tools that we have, which is powered by GenAI. Then they also work on providing the same tools to our customers or users who would like to use their tools for their productivity. So it's a twofold thing where you use internally what we call it as dog fooding, and then use it and then make it better and then roll it out to the customer or the user. So that way, whatever that we are creating using Gemini assisted experiences, which is not only with us, but also with our users. That's one of the most important things that you learn when you join Google.
That's a comprehensive view of the entire development life cycle. Priyank, focusing on the applied AI side of things, right? What is the most crucial skill for a new hire to master?
Okay, so when somebody joins Google, right? So the first hurdle is to get used to the new tooling, because some of these tools you would have not used outside at all. You probably didn't even hear about some of these tools, and that's where you need to kind of get used to those, because those are the key to kind of having you productive at work. So Yeah, so that's the first thing. But eventually, infrastructure components become extremely important. For example, at cloud, you would need to, if you are building as part of cloud, infrastructure pieces and practices which are followed at cloud at GCP are very important, because you need to understand the security aspects of it, how the access management works, and also some of the fundamental things like databases. So we get choices of so many databases internally, and we have to choose the right one for the product that we are building. And understanding some of these pieces is critical to building the right product with efficiency for the customer. So yeah, that's the next thing. And eventually you would kind of start deep diving into your product architecture and how do you build efficient solutions and products for your customers. So it's a path to getting there. And yeah, some of these skills, they matter a lot in that journey.
Yeah, I'm plus one to everything that you mentioned, right? Like Google is a tech island. A lot of the frameworks and everything that we use here, it's not available outside. So first, familiarizing with all of that and then building on top of the product that the team offers is the way to go.
Absolutely.
But Sheel, from the business intelligence perspective, what should the core focus be for a new engineer joining your team?
Yeah, so some of the things are common, which Hari and Priyank have talked about, because there's a common training which a new Googler goes through. And there's also specific things which you need to learn because you're part of the cloud organization. But beyond that, specifically in our team, it's majorly about making sure the new hires do get to understand the product better, because the product involves multiple personas. And while your team would not be working on all the personas, it is good to have a proper understanding of all the personas. And once you identify those, you then focus on the personas your team is working on. And then you basically understand what are the repetitive tasks, where we can make the discovery better, how can we improve the customer workflow. And that is where like you need to make trade-offs with what technologies we have available, what are the requirements of customer, and then build on that. So that's how the journey goes.
I see. So we also need to understand like the personas of our customers and then cater to their exact needs.
Yeah, that is very important.
Hari, your philosophy is that technology is essentially a bridge between a good research idea and its, positive effect on the society. So on working on something like, Gemini Code Assist, how do you balance between the long-term research goals and something as rapid as the product demands?
Yeah, that's a good question. So fundamentally, research is a long-term endeavor with a focus of state-of-the-art, what evolves in the research. And what product development does is what we call it as a hypothesis. So you wanted to improve the product. So you start with the hypothesis, then design an experiment, and then you need to have your users to validate. So we kind of set up what we call the success metrics. So that means whatever that we get from research, we take them into the product in form of experimentation, roll it out to certain users, and then see that how the feature performs. Once we know the success metrics are there, then we decide to scale up. Right? So that's the way we do it. So it's actually a good conduit to apply this state-of-the-art methods into product development through these experiments. And that experiments gives you a way to roll out and based on the user impact that you're trying to create.
I see. So it's like a feedback loop, right? It's experimenting and then evaluating our customer feedback.
That's correct.
Priyank, your team in applied AI helps enterprises build their future. So, when connecting Google's foundational models to enterprise data, what are the key engineering challenges that you face in ensuring scalability, accuracy, privacy, and even security for our customers?
Thanks for the question. So this is right at the core of the work that we do. So when we are dealing with foundational models versus vertical specific models, one of the key differences is how do you provide that extra layer of factual accuracy without hallucinating? Because, for example, at healthcare, the room for approximation is zero. So fundamental models are more like, you can say, general practitioners who have a wider view of the world. And vertical specific models are like neurosurgeons. They know exactly what is the right thing to do in their space. And that's how we kind of create that expertise in whatever we are building and providing to the users. On top of that, we also have very high bar for security and privacy practices. And this is where, for example, some of the medical data can have a lot of personal information in it. For example, your medical images, like radiology images, they can have a lot of personal information. None of that should go into the model. Along with that, there are many other attributes as well, which are not relevant to the models and can impact the accuracy of the model. So all of this kind of needs to be taken care of. And this is where expertise from Google comes in. We make sure that the models are being tested and trained on the factual data. And we do the right thing for the users from the trust and accuracy perspective.
Yeah, plus one, like Google is very, very committed to ethical AI. And that is a good segue for my next question for you, Vatsheel. So how does your team ensure that responsible AI principles are followed in all stages of product development, be it design, be it implementation, or be it even testing?
Right. So responsible AI, as you have pointed out, is part of our AI principles in basically responsible development and deployment of AI. And that is why it is baked in the normal development and deployment cycle at all the teams at Google. So before you start, there is a risk assessment done as part of your design. And based on the result of that risk assessment, we are allowed to see what are the next steps which we can take. So, for example, are there things which should be mitigated right now? And if that is the case, we do have that mitigation as part of the design. And once the implementation starts, there are like continuous evals which can happen while the development is going on. And there is a pre-launch eval as well. And once this stage is passed, there is, because we are building it for our customers, and so there is like a focus on privacy, security, reliability, as well as some cross-functional aspects like what is the user experience we are building. So all those reviews are also part of the cycle. And when all these are done, then finally at the end of the day, we don't have to say that, okay, well, this was the policy and here's I have done the checklist part. So I feel it very helpful that is baked in. And it's very similar to the regular software development life cycle. So anyone who is new in the team doesn't feel it like out of the place. So it like becomes a second memory kind of thing.
Okay, so it's intricately, woven into every step instead of just being a checklist.
Yes, that is correct.
The next question is an audience favorite. Hari, Priyank, Vatsheel, you all know that the nature of AI work can be very demanding. So how does your team at Google Cloud India ensure that you have the required work-life balance and work-life flexibility? And also, what is one practice that you personally follow in order to ensure that you're meeting your personal and your professional commitments? Hari?
Yeah, so basically we have very flexible, time in terms of our hybrid policy that we follow. For me personally, I ensure that I spend good amount of face-to-face time with my team to huddle and brainstorm. That's very important for me to have good face time with my team. Then we have calls that we need to attend in the evenings, and then we can prioritize accordingly. So let's say if you're not able to make the call, we have good amount of offline collaboration tools, such as you get Gemini summarization and many of the things that we get action items and all of them. As part of our dog fooding, we get those facilities. So we use that very effectively. For me, it's very important to have that kind of a focus time, and we have something called Focus Fridays where you can block your calendar for your own time so that you have an uninterrupted time for yourself and to make yourself effective. And personally for me, I practice mindfulness, slowing down intentionally, understanding the things and taking at the stretch, and also enjoy a good sleep so that it can be more effective. So it's a combination of both hybrid work policy plus you use the offline tools for your effectiveness.
Priyank?
Plus one to what Hari just said, it is extremely important to take care of your personal well-being. And Google is very committed to supporting the employees in this area. For example, we get access to a lot of premium services internally, which are very helpful through the ups and downs. And most of these services are available to you as well as your family. So they are definitely very, very useful. So and play a big part. Apart from that, one practice or one suggestion I generally have for my team is you should be able to disconnect from work after your regular working hours. You do not need to stretch beyond your regular working hours until it is business critical. And this is where if things can wait till tomorrow, they should wait till tomorrow and they can be taken care of. But certain things are business critical. For example, we have meetings because we collaborate across various teams, which are spread out across different continents as well. So we have to take meetings sometimes in not so comfortable time in our time zone. But the culture at Google, which is very, very inclusive, allows us to kind of have some sort of, you can say, alternate schedules, which sometimes work better for you, sometimes they work better for the other teams, and that's how we all collaborate. So it's there in the culture at Google, and at the same time, if you need help, just ask for it.
Vatsheel?
Yeah, I think Priyank and Hari have already covered a lot of things. One of the things which I also want to highlight on is the async communication which we take use. So it helps a lot in avoiding meetings which are not friendly to your time zone. But on the other hand, it also builds a sort of documentation for your team. It exercises your writing muscle. It brings about something which could be helpful to my future self and my teammates or my future teammates. So that kind of helps a lot. And the async tooling is also very good, like for async communication as well. And personally, for me, blocking a large focus block that's what has been very effective. So I work on problems which sometimes require a lot of depth to get into, and the shorter blocks don't work out that well. So to avoid context switching, larger focus blocks are something which I personally have found very useful.
I completely agree with everything that you all just said. Google truly values keeping all the Googlers happy and healthy because that is what enables us to, give our best.
Completely.
So let's switch gears into innovation and the future. Hari, what is the most ambitious technical challenge that your team works on, that moves away from simple task automation towards a more multi-agent workflow?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that we're trying to solve is Google Cloud Platform has more than 100 odd services and then 300 odd kind of things customers use. So what we're trying to do is how we can enable those services to have a assisted way of working. So what it means is Gemini should know clearly what the customer context, configuration, their data, etc., so that it doesn't hallucinate. It provides you relevant, proactive, in the context recommendation. So this itself is a very massive problem to solve because you're talking about scale of many customers in Google Cloud Platform. So solving this with intent and then ensuring that customers adopt them is one of the biggest challenge that we're trying to solve, where you get assistance across the life cycle, right from creation till you retire the resource. And that itself is an ambitious problem for us. And we are trying to solve them through these assisted experiences.
I see. I mean, it's very difficult to keep something generic so that it can scale, but also cater it to, keep it personalized that our users want to keep using it.
That's right.
Yeah. This question hits home. Vatsheel, you are an individual contributor in your team. So my question to you is that, how does someone decide which path is right for them, the individual contributor path or the people management and leadership path? And how exactly do we differentiate between the two?
Yeah, this does hit home because I have also grappled with the same question. But to start with, I would say that it is very personal. This is what I have found out. So basically, first thing you need to decide is, do you enjoy being in the role? So you don't want to be in a state where you dread your Monday mornings, that what have I got myself into. So having said that, like both the paths offer, there are commonalities in both the paths and there are very unique challenges in both the paths. So I'll start with the individual contributor role. And if you look at this role, you need to go into depth in some of the areas. And you want to make sure that whatever you are building that scales your platform and something which is usable to many teams, and folks can build on that to improve our business The second part, which is about the people management, they're also like you act as a force multiplier. So there are multiple people in your team, and once you see that they are able to realize their full potential, uh, I believe like it could be a feeling of great satisfaction to achieve that. So, and even in at Google, what I've seen is that managers and individual contributors work very closely, especially like during the design phase. Managers are also like the voice of customers, be it looking at the operability of the service, or like looking at how this project could be executed well. So challenges are there in both the roles. What I would suggest is talk to your seniors, your mentors, and if there is an opportunity for you, just try this role change for some time. And if it doesn't work out, you can always come back to your previous role.
I see. So Google provides that flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There are a lot of folks I've seen, they have tried this, and some of them have gone on to enjoy the new roles, and some of them have come back, which is totally fine.
Yeah, I personally found that advice very helpful. Thank you.
Glad it was useful for you.
So let's talk about joining Google. Priyank, for an engineer interviewing for an AI ML role, what is one thing that suggests that they are capable of creating a 10x impact on your team?
And that's a great question. So whenever somebody joins Google, they want to create that outsized impact. And the most important skill in doing that is being a team player. A good team player who can collaborate effectively within the immediate team as well as outside the boundaries with other organizations. I mean, other sister teams or even in different other orgs across Google. That's very important because when you collaborate, you get that opportunity to create that 10x impact that you want to create. Apart from that, technical skills are also extremely important. So when we are hiring, we look for strong fundamental understanding of computer science people. And for AI ML engineers, we look for strong fundamental understanding of ML. And for experienced candidates, we look for exposure to the entire life cycle of building ML models, testing, deploying the evaluation solutions, and even optimizing the models. And yeah, so it's a combination of being a great team player, the team spirit, and your technical expertise that enables you to create the kind of impact that you want to create at Google.
Yeah, I'm sure our listeners would be very pleased and like they would have found this advice very helpful. Thanks, Priyank. Thank you. Hari, what is one non-technical skill that will help any candidate, stand out?
Yeah, I think it is curiosity. So the curiosity is nothing but learning from what you do, be it a success or a failure. It's very important to possess that quality so that you are curious about experimenting, trying to do new things, and then learning from it. It's not about creating the feeling that is a peer pressure or fear of missing out. It's more about understanding your point of view and having a perspective around it. Well, it's extremely important to gather multiple perspectives and listen to it. You should learn to develop one skill that is developing your own perspective and have a unique point of view on that. So I would rate definitely curiosity as a very high element in terms of developing yourself and also being valuable to the team.
Yeah, I think Priyank and Vatsheel will also agree when, we say that curiosity is the mother of all innovation and invention, and that is very important here at Google. Vatsheel, many candidates have excellent technical skills, right? What is one advice that you would give to them to help them demonstrate that they are ready for the kind of environment and scale that they would have to deal with here at Google Cloud?
Oh, that's a great question, specifically because it brings out the fact that there are a lot of candidates with almost similar level of technical skill. So one thing which I would suggest is like the customer focus, because at the end of the day, we are building this because there is some customer need which we are going to address with this solution. So sometimes we do get carried away by the technical complexity of the problem and not focusing exactly on whether we are solving the right problem. So to guard against that, it's good to have that understanding of what is the customer requirement. And also once you have that, it also helps you, because if you are solving a complex problem, there would be multiple alternatives. And if you know exactly for what requirement you are solving, and you can anticipate like what sort of requirements can come in future, it becomes a little bit easier by narrowing down the choices you can make. So that is one of the very important thing. The other one, everyone may not have that opportunity, but if you have that opportunity, try to get an understanding of the domain you are entering. Maybe if you don't have that, do that once you joined, because that again helps you anticipate the requirements proactively, and also helps you again make the proper trade-offs, which would always be there whenever you are working on a complex challenge.
So understanding the customer and understanding the domain.
Yeah, that is important, I would say.
To wrap things up, one final piece of advice from each of you. Hari, Vatsheel, Priyank, what is the one reason someone should choose to build their AI career right here at Google Cloud India?
Yeah, I feel Google is one of the major players with the complete stack of AI. And you can see right from research, infrastructure, platform, and products. And also, you'll get to solve a lot of ambiguous problems and a bunch of brilliant people to work with and learn from. For me, that's the main reason to join Google.
I would say the confidence the customers have in ourselves. You see 90% of funded unicorn Gen AI startups, and around 60% of Gen AI startups are building on Google Cloud. So please come and build with us, because our customers have also shown a lot of confidence in ourselves.
Okay, according to me, when you're building for cloud, you're building for that amplified impact. And when you build for cloud, you are not building for a use case. You are building for thousands of enterprise customers across the world. And these customers are going to take your work to the world. And that's how you create that amplified, exponentially amplified impact. And that's the most important thing for me.
Thank you so much for joining us and providing an incredibly insightful look into the world of AI and ML at Google Cloud. If you're feeling inspired by what you just heard, explore opportunities with us on the Google Careers website. Thank you to everyone who joined us today.